Hi, this is Tyler Cowan, and welcome to our class on The Great Economists. Why study the great economists at all? Why be interested in the history of economic thought? Well, first of all, it turns out that they knew a lot of things that we still don't. Reading them is an enlightening experience. Furthermore, history repeats itself. We find, for instance, that during the Great Recession, a lot of contemporary economists made mistakes that their forerunners had made centuries ago. By knowing more history of economic thought, we can hope to avoid such kinds of mistakes. Earlier thinkers, for the most part, did development economics, because back then, no nations were wealthy by modern standards. If you ask what is today the hottest and most exciting area in economics, well, it's development economics too, so let's go back and look at where that came from. Earlier economists also give us a different perspective on what we know. It's not just that they knew different things, but they give us a deeper sense of what we think we already understand, but maybe really don't quite. The history of economic thought is also a window for understanding history more generally. What better way to learn history than to see what did some of the smartest people at that time think was going on? In our coverage, we go as far back as Galileo, who's mostly known as an astronomer, but who also wrote on the theory of value. We have extensive coverage of Adam Smith. In fact, we have a video for every single chapter in The Wealth of Nations, covering that book in its entirety. That's probably the best economics book ever written, but if that's too much Adam Smith for you, well, you can pick and choose, or just watch Alex's single video overview on Adam Smith and economic growth. Finally, what we've done so far, as of early 2013, it goes up only to the Marginal Revolution of 1871. So most of this class is what's called classical economics, and a bit also on mercantilism, and you can think of this as what did economics look like before modern economics got underway. One thing we don't cover in this class is Karl Marx and Marxian economics more generally. We do think this is very important, but in our view, it actually deserves its own class, and we hope to be supplying that in the future. We have videos not only on the great thinkers themselves, but on many of the most important policy debates of their time, and that includes the debates over living standards in the Industrial Revolution, numerous debates on monetary policy, and also debates on taxes and debt. Does that sound familiar? Well, those are still some of the major debates today. One thing great about doing history of thought is just how many of the original source materials are available online and for free, and we give you instructions for Googling to these materials. Of course, enter the author's name and title. But when you have a choice of sources, we think the single best source on the web for history of economic thought is something called the Online Library of Liberty that's produced by Liberty Fund, and you'll find it at this website, and of course Google will bring you there too. With all that, let's get going and let's open ourselves up to many more economic ideas.